There we go. And to YouTube.
YouTube. Wow, YouTube.
What am I gonna do with you?
I don't know, but my brain went absolutely.
I noticed. Are you okay?
Right.
Oh, that
Yeah,
reminds me.
fine,
I need to do. I need to do Work in Progress Wednesday later today.
Oh yeah.
Because that's today. Hey, Crow!
Damn, Crow, you're quick, boy.
So, I'll put the links places. Oh,
That's okay. I'm already sorting it.
thank you.
I am a quick boy.
I took care of my own server, but thank you.
That's fair. Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Oh boy, to this. So,
yeah.
unless you've been living under a rock regarding all things tabletop RPG, you will know that Tal'Dorei Reborn dropped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And if you bought it off the Critical Role website, which I think they're still doing this as a promo, they give you a PDF to use while the physical copy ships.
Yeah.
Of course I'm quick. I don't have much to do this morning.
Oh. Aww. I'm sorry, Crow.
Glad you decided to spend your morning with us.
Yeah.
So today I was looking through the subclasses going, what do I want to do with this? And then I came across the Blood Domain Cleric and I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So now here you all are subjected to me. Honestly, I do think that the ideas that come around from a blood domain or blood themed class. Unfortunately, in terms of tabletop, I'm a bit of a hobbit.
Aww.
Well, Critical Role, in case that is the degree of living under a rock we're looking at here, is a live play D&D broadcast done by several renowned voice actors and hosted by Matthew Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them on Twitch.
Yeah.
Their setting is a world called Tal'Dorei. And previously they've released
one that Matt made himself as well.
Yeah. He made the world himself, which mad props to him. Speaking as somebody who has tried to build my own worlds before, world building is hard.
I've never tried it because I'm really bad at world building, and I know I am.
I meant the Tal'Dorei Reborn. Well, it's basically a book for so you want to run your own thing in the world of Critical Role. Well, here's some stuff you're going to need to pull that off. And it goes into stuff about the world, some items you can find, and new subclasses you can use. Each class has a new one, except Artificer. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Feel bad for Artificer on that front, but Artificer's
yeah, it's still a pretty new
class, so it makes sense it wouldn't really get much new stuff at this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another fact, Matthew Mercer was one of the few people behind the Blood Hunter classes.
Yeah. Anywho, Blood Domain Cleric's a magical murder hobo. Well, actually, no. The Blood Domain, mostly, from what I've been able to see and reading it, although reading comprehension may vary, is that it focuses more on yes, it's a very damage cannon-y class,
Mm-hmm.
but its focus is predominantly on just
Pardon me.
augmenting your pre-existing. Luckily, it's Wednesday, so we can talk about. Yes, we can discuss the mighty, potent, accursed Will Wheaton.
Yes.
There is numerical recorded proof that that man is cursed.
Here we go. Here's a brief overview. Developed in Wildmount by the Cleric orders of the Blood Domain, centers around the understanding of the natural life force as it exists within the body, and the divine conduit it can become. So basically, what it's suggesting is that it's basically a tool for using magic rather than a
It's one of those, the blood is the conduit.
yeah. You're just the person painting,
Yeah.
basically.
I'm acting as a conduit for this arcane force.
Mm-hmm. This domain understands the power of blood is the power of sacrifice, the balance of life and death, and the spirit's anchor within the mortal shell. It's just beautiful phrasing. Mwah, I love it. Gods who grant the power of the blood domain, including the Ruiner, the Matron of Ravens, direct their followers to tap into the connection between the body and soul and exploit the hidden reserves of will within one's vitality and corrupt the bodies of others. Okay, I didn't read that bit.
Nowhere does it say that the gods of this domain are always particularly nice.
No. Yeah. From the secret rites of Hemocraft, which is blood magic.
As done by Wizard.
Clerics of good gods use Hemocraft to fill their self-sacrifice with purpose and power, while clerics are fewer morals, use the blood of others to achieve their own malevolent ends. Oh, so that's even more bad. Hey, can I borrow your blood? Why? I'm taking it anyway. Toga. I'm looking at you. There hasn't been enough blood. Okay.
What I'm getting is Taurus is a blood domain cleric. Yes. It's like, time for your bloodletting. Why are you using a blunt instrument? Don't ask questions.
Do you hate me? I don't particularly like you. Yeah, no, we were talking about some of the stuff with this subclass, and oh boy, at level 1, your divine magic draws the blood from magically inflicting wounds, worsening the agony of your foes. When you cast damage-dealing spell of first level or higher, whose duration is instantaneous, any creature with blood that takes damage from the spell takes extra necrotic damage equal to 2 plus your spell level.
So, now, this turns stupid because of a spell clerics have at their disposal. Yeah. Inflict wounds. That just does 3d10 out of the gate as a level 1.
So plus 2, so that would be what, 5?
That would be 5 extra d10, so long as you're entirely certain that it has blood. Or some kind of blood equivalent.
I think it's just specifically blood. I don't think they can control certain things like in plants or constructs or anything like that.
Right.
Your first mistake. You have blood. Die!
See, your first mistake was having blood. What do you mean?
Technically, they kind of have a thing with almost like that. The channel divinity blood puppet. So at 6th level, you can use your channel divinity to briefly control a creature's actions, whether the creature is living or dead. As an action, you can target a larger or smaller creature or corpse within 60 feet of you that has blood. A creature you target must succeed a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or become charmed by you. An unconscious creature automatically fails the saving throw and isn't incapacitated while you control its actions. A corpse targeted by this effect gains the semblance of life that you control. On an affected creature or animated corpse turn, you can command it, no action required, to move up to half of its speed and use its action to do one of the following: interact with an object, make a single attack, or do nothing.
Taurus sounds like a potential unsub. I've watched enough Criminal Minds to know what that means. Yes.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
But fortunately, the rest of the party knows that Taurus is a good boy.
He is a good boy with a great heart.
And
Thank God.
bless him, a very small brain.
Mm-hmm. We love him, though.
Oh,
wow, there's more.
Blood Domain Taurus is basically Taurus Alter, and that's terrifying. I mean...
Susan, it gets worse. I just noticed there's another paragraph.
Oh?
An animated corpse or an unconscious creature takes their turn immediately after yours, but can't move or take actions unless you command it to do so. Its statistics are the same as when it was alive or conscious. An affected living creature makes a new saving throw at the end of each turn, ending its effect on itself. Successful from any target you control for the last one. At 17th level, you can use this feature to target a huge or smaller creature or corpse.
So... a high enough level Blood Domain Cleric should not be allowed anywhere near dead dragons, for example.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. We don't talk about it, but probably yeah.
He is a good boy. Spyro would never leave him.
Jude is...
Why is everything on fire, Jude?
Jude is probably responsible for putting a lot of things in the grave.
His loved ones he's put in the grave. Just putting it out there. And maybe a few returned. And a Leonin.
Blood Domain Cleric next to a Hydra. Oh god. Yep.
Oh no! I forgot about the Hydra! Oh no! Crow, why did you make me remember the Hydra?
We all have a little bit of Hydra PTSD. That's normal.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, though. Ava did a good job with the Hydra.
I did not... I fully expected, like, for Ava to be pulling, like, a heroic sacrifice type deal. Like, yeah, she drove it off, but...
The fact that it just gave up and was like, yeah, nah.
Well, Hydras, at the end of the day, are animals.
Mm. Do you know what is really funny? Liam just asked me yesterday. He goes, wait, the thing that attacked the Hydra, was it Timorat? And we were like, yeah, it was Timorat. And he went, oh, fuck.
Yeah, our party has developed a very healthy aversion to Timorat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we haven't even fought him to develop that. We just heard his name. Somebody made a successful history check, and we just went, nope.
Well, kind of. It pushed him off a cliff.
Yeah, but, like, our first fight with him, it's just, yeet! Run. It's like, we just yeet him off the cliff. It's like, do you think the fall killed him? Ah! No. I do love the fact that you guys were effectively ding dong ditching Erebos.
Ding dong!
Well, more like screaming in trauma. Heard his name, saw him coming, and just went, nope. So, was the successful check made by Taurus?
I can't remember who it was.
I think it was actually Jude.
It could have been Jude, yeah.
We need to rewatch the episode.
Mm.
One of these days, for like a thing that will make this make sense is I have really bad ADHD, so I just don't remember things.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be really cool for like a thing to do sometime is to just re-listen to the Dice Sesh episodes, because I would be honestly reacting as if I'd never heard it before, because I forget things.
Oh, don't you worry. I forget things as well. I've been re-listening to them. I do remember going through that episode. Not recently, but recent enough that I can remember most of it. And I do think it was Jude that made the check. But I think Taurus as well attempted to do the check. They
both made the check, but Jude remembered more, I think, was how that ended up resolving itself.
Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, Taurus tried. The only information I think he got was, yeah, this is a returned. That was literally all he got, I think.
Yeah, this is a returned. This is a bad thing.
Because we're friends. Yeah, that's true, Crow. We are.
Anyone? I think most of us are aware enough of the show Criminal Minds to know what unsub means. Mumsy, are you about to prove me wrong?
No.
For those of you who may be drawing a blank, unsub is a term used and potentially coined by the American police procedural show Criminal Minds. It means unknown subject and is often used to refer to the killer of the week.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
It's called they're called that because they don't usually know who it is. If they knew who it was, they wouldn't be there.
Interesting.
Although, honestly, I do genuinely think, out of everybody, Ava would probably make the most frightening of that type of person, for one very simple reason. Her inscrutable thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Her mind can't be read unless she consents to it. The reason I say if she consents to it, because otherwise that just makes a lot of spells that are really useful just slide right off, and it's just like, no.
Yeah. I will admit, the one thing I really like, though, about Spyro when it comes to him being a Nyxborn, it's not just he's visually
striking.
Exactly. Visually striking. That is such a great word.
It's kinder than epileptic seizure on legs.
That is true. He is that too.
I was gonna say, he is, and I dare you to tell me otherwise.
He is interesting because him internally is just insane. So he's a satyr, and satyrs are basically a
fairy.
He's a fae being. So he has advantage on saves against magical effects.
Yeah.
Top that off with his resistance to necrotic and radiant damage because of starry
Because he's made of star
Yeah.
goop
star goop.
that got
It meant
squished into a people shape.
it meant Lava was having an issue trying to figure out what to do with Spyro in that necrotic fog.
Because it just wasn't doing anything to him.
Because there was just he went, okay, I'll probably roll for it. He rolled for it and went, well, it's not going to do anything to him. Oh wait, he's resistant to necrotic fog, so that's even worse.
It's doing nothing. He's just standing there like, what is wrong with all of you?
He was just worried, if anything.
As the party just, as the Ravine team just loses its mind.
Mm-hmm.
That episode is out now, so we can talk about that. So,
yeah.
When there's a bit where, like, the party's been split and Ava isn't present, and it's recording time, I literally just start the recording, mute my headset, and walk off and go do something else.
So
Who ended up in the fog? Priam, Taurus, Spyro, Jude.
Everyone was affected differently, but two of the characters were
affected very similarly.
Yeah, they were aggressive with their response to their
when you're pardon my language here, but when you're tripping balls in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what was going on there. That was just a bad trip. Mm.
The thing is, because the fact that it was a poison. Was it a poison? I'm not too sure if it was a poison.
It was an effect of you guys being so close to the underworld, you could ding dong ditch.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Taurus,
if it was just poison,
Taurus tripped balls in a bad way.
Taurus could have probably re-rolled that roll. Couldn't he?
The thing is, I doubt it was a poison.
Well, that's the thing, though. Lesser restoration gets rid of that.
Well, we don't know what it was, so hard telling, not knowing, and I don't think any of us are going back in there.
To ask.
Yeah, just, what is this?
Erebos, honey, I just need one answer.
What is this?
Erebos.
That one bad, bad enough that when somebody else was trying to calm him down, he broke their rib.
Mm-hmm. He cracked a rib.
On Spyro.
Yeah, and Spyro was okay with it because he could see that they were not in a good way.
Yeah, it's just you ain't in your right mind.
I'm just happy that Priam did not go for Spyro because I was
Squishy
dreading.
Bard.
Well, no, it was
Squishy Bard. You would have been curb stomped.
Well, that was the thing that went through my head. It was Priam destroys Stone Giant, starts tripping bulls after Taurus had just hit him in the chest and then healed him.
This is
Spyro, glutton of punishment. Oh no. I'm like, I don't like where this is going. And then Taurus was like, I will take the brunt. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy living.
It was
multiple things
this
for his past, and Gorgon blamed him, and this was because we don't know Cleo. None of this was. Who's Priam? Priam is a unscarred paladin of Iroas who was hired by Ava's father to bring her home and has rapidly discovered that this was a mistake and that he should have asked for hazard pay.
Yeah, That was his fault.
He is rapidly discovering that all of this is a mistake and that he should have asked for hazard pay but didn't. Now,
Yeah.
unscarred is a very specific term for someone from the Dakra Isles.
Mm-hmm.
It means that he has a feature. May become the second alcoholic. Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, since he has to explain
Yeah.
to Ava's dad what she's doing.
Or who she's doing. Wait, what?
That episode hasn't come out yet. Mumsy. Silence.
Sorry. Oh dear.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
Priam
fun.
may become the second alcoholic this party causes, but that's okay. He'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Everything is fine. Nothing bad ever happened. Ever.
Why is the not sparkly satyr a lump? Depression. But why though? We're not supposed to talk about it.
Spyro. We killed his girlfriend. Takas. Ah!
She turned
Everyone
into a
looks at
really
Spyro.
cool sword, so why
Everyone,
does the crew
everyone
cause
looks-
get because they end up being the straight man to our little band of gremlins?
Basically, it's like that film Daddy Daycare when all the kids go running around causing absolute havoc, and then one of them causes some issues in the bathroom, and they just practically just like, oh no. Basically, that is our crew.
I know the exact line. This little kid comes up to the dad and goes, "I used the potty." And he's like, "That's great, buddy." He goes to check and see if the kid needs any help, and as he's looking all around the room, we just hear this little child voice off camera go, "I missed."
You missed? That doesn't sound good. Looks into bathroom. Ba-bum.
Yeah, the party has a tendency to gremlin because we just don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit A: Taurus offering Cadmus drugs.
That was so funny, though.
It's like, here, this might help you relax. What is that? Lith water.
Dude.
He
tried to bribe.
I'm a guard. And? That's drugs. And?
Even better, he tried to bribe the captain of the guard.
Yeah, because brave Captain Cadmus of the Militant Guard. Ava has emotional pressure. Spyro has daddy issues both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Jude has amnesia and the god of lies filling in the holes. Takis is just a depression vegetable.
But he wasn't a depression vegetable then. He was looking for clues.
Yeah, it's just... Ava has...
Ties in Melitus, we'll say. Ties
No, it's listing the issues the party has. Ava has a weird fixation on proving herself and a slight dose of daddy issues. Spyro has major daddy issues both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jude has amnesia and the god of lies filling in the holes. Takis is just Takis.
And Aslan is...
Issues. Aslan is the poster child for successful anger management counseling, but...
That is true. Out of all of us, I think Aslan's the only one that's made any progress on their issues.
Ava just needs to acknowledge she has issues.
Spyro, I think, well, in the most recent episode, I think it's revealed that Spyro knows that he has those issues, but he just doesn't know how to combat them. So he's just sort of...
If I ignore it, it will go away.
I wouldn't say he's trying to ignore it, though. It's more on the lines of, I'm not going to do anything about you until I have an idea of what to do about you.
And then you have Ava who's just like, I don't know.
I have a problem.
Yeah, Ava's just like, Problem.
Which one said it? Which one said it, hey? Was it
Taurus
you?
wants to make progress on his issues, but Theros keeps just going, no. And giving him more issues.
Well, I didn't think that Taurus had any issues, really, but
He's a man with
Most
an
people-
int of 5 who knows he has an int of 5.
okay, that's fair. I didn't think about his intelligence. Crow, for a change, I didn't even go there.
Have you gone back to Melitus yet? No, we have not gone back to Melitus yet, because the instant we took care of the Cleo problem, we had bigger fry.
Yeah. In the one place the Taurus is never meant to go.
Or Ava, for that matter.
Well, I can safely say it's the place that Spyro has never wanted to go ever.
Yeah. We have not gone back to Melitus yet, but we are planning to.
But we might have to go to Akros first.
It depends on the timing.
Mm.
Because Ava needs to participate in the Iroan Games, which take place during the hottest days of the summer. And if anyone asks Ava why, it's just to weed out the weak. What happened to Cleo's body? She disintegrated into pretty golden sparklies.
Yeah, into a sword. Basically.
She disintegrated, and then there was a sword, and I'm pretty sure that sword is now Takis' comfort object.
He's been hugging it at night. Vigorously.
That sounds wrong, Mumsy.
I shut up now.
But yeah, the sword Cleo turned into, Cleos Pandemos, I think I pronounced that right.
Yeah, you did.
Has kind of become Tax's comfort item, and woe betide anybody who tries to take it from him.
Or do what Spyro did, which you'll find out later.
Touch it.
It wasn't the fact that he touched it, he knocked on it.
Ding, ding, ding. Spyro. Do that again, I'm breaking your face. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I have a lot of shit to deal with. His intelligence, the reputation of the priesthood of Farika, whatever a savior of civilization is, 2 gods breathing down his neck.
Well, the thing is, I find it funny that out of everyone, the savior of civilization is the cleric. Actually, that makes a lot more sense now I think about it out loud.
Yeah, it does make sense because, well, will we potentially get her back? Well, there's a slight issue with any bringing her back from the dead.
The likelihood is the Gorgon would come back as well.
Yeah, the Gorgon curse was tied to her soul. If we at all tried to bring her back, the curse might reactivate.
Don't get me wrong, her soul is in the sword. Whether or not it's been purified of the curse, that we don't know.
Well, from what we know of the scene where somebody went poking around in there, yes, the Cleo in the sword has been purified, but we don't know if bringing her out to bring her back will stay. There's too many variables and too much at risk.
The only thing I'm scared about is Takas going back to the Druids of the Tur and pretty much any physical contact with Lycos in the presence of the sword. I'm just very scared on how that's gonna play out.
Well,
because
Cleo knows she's dead.
She knows that she's dead, but she's also a sentient sword, basically.
Then
So
just put a cloth over the sword.
Doesn't mean they won't be able to hear it.
Just put a cloth over the sword and everything will be fine.
I love Ava's solutions to things. They are just so sweet.
Simple but very effective.
Yeah. I always love those moments where Spyro's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And Ava's just like, just do this, Spyro. And he's like, oh.
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, Spyro is usually ask question first, try and think of some. He'd much rather have him find somewhere to start than he would about starting something himself. Doesn't mean he can't do it. There are things that he's been doing secretly.
Yeah, and yes, Simon, I know why you're referring to exposing Kleos Pandemos to demon energy because of what that might do, but there's also the chance it would fail.
Yeah.
And for one, demon energy, as it's been mentioned, doesn't exist in Theros, and for two, if it failed, nobody wants that on their conscience. Because we'd essentially have to put her in the ground all over again.
Yeah.
Or it would do nothing, and we've gotten Takis' hopes up for nothing, and he becomes a depression vegetable again.
I think it's less of again and more of a
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do hope we get to, like... I hate to say fix Takis, because it's not like Takis is broken. But I do hope we get to, like... help him recover.
Well, I know what Ava's solution is. Lycos fix.
First, give him a big hug, reassure him that this isn't his fault. That none of what happened to Cleo was his fault. The blame lies at the feet of Cleo's father and the ones who did the ritual on her.
Mm.
That's where the blame lies, and it should not lie with him.
Maybe Phrixus. We're not sure if Phrixus is involved.
We're like 99% sure Phrixus.
Well, this is the thing that I said. This is the thing that I said recently. We got information that she was in the temple and she was being treated for a lung condition by Phrixus. Why would he lie if he didn't know anything? You know?
Yeah, it's just one of those, he has no reason. He would, normally, have no reason to lie.
See, the way that I see it, the way it panned out, Cleo's father, Cleo's father went to Phrixus, said,
My daughter did a dumb.
My daughter did a dumb. Helioid is furious.
Helioid is pissy, as per usual.
Phrixus goes, why don't you hand her over to me and I can send her off to a monastery out in the middle of nowhere where they deal failed clerics. And he's like, that's a good idea, Phrixus. Now to experiment. I'm going to put the word out that I've got a candidate for Gorgonification and see how it goes. And then he didn't hear anything back from them. Oh wow, that was a fail.
Because the ritual took and she put all of them in the ground. And the thing is, everybody in the party knows that Taurus is a big sweetheart who wouldn't do anything like that, but everybody looking at him is just, oh, this is not going to help him at all.
Yeah.
It's just that would not this is not going to help him at all.
Yeah. I will say that I think I will say when Taurus found out that he was the savior of civilization, me as the player, I noticed him acting a little bit more arrogantly than I thought he would. But it's more understandable that way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Why is it not going? Because Taurus has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot.
Taurus
Like, you
is
could stock the entire magazine section of the bookstore with them.
amongst his philosophical ramblings, anyway.
And
That's
the
why it took a
fact
lot.
that his brain is populated by axolotls.
Derp.
Like, those are just the embodiments of his thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Kronk, as he's been so willingly named by you, Simon.
Okay, now I think I'm gonna go a little bit aesthetically different for a, because like you usually when you think of a priestess of a blood god, you usually think of like dark hair, dark eyes, very dark clothing, just dark.
Dark. Unless you're thinking of Molly Mock.
Molly Mock was just
Very
extra.
Yeah, he was granted he was a blood hunter, but he did a lot of the hemocraft stuff, and he was very flamboyant and very he loved life.
Yeah, and Crow brings up a good point. The party, Heliod's a dick. What do you mean? He brings the dawn every day. Blah 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 blah. Farika's not that great. Yup. And the thing is, the party has more reasons to like Farika than they do Heliod.
I am going to be 100% honest. Spyro doesn't hate Helioid. He doesn't hate someone unless he has personal
Reasons.
grievances, personal reasons to hate them. The only person he has ever hated in Theros is Phoenix.
Well, to be fair, Phoenix is a petty bastard.
He is a petty bastard that has got his son in a headlock and he doesn't.
He doesn't like that.
And he's messing with Spyro's feelings.
And Phoenix just, I think Ava's like the one person Phoenix hasn't messed with yet, and I don't want him to start.
I think the only reason why he hasn't is because he can't read.
Right. Very good. Thanks to Taurus has saved our asses repeatedly. So yeah, the party does have, all Heliod's done is just smite our cleric, smite our paladin, though to be fair, the paladin started it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he basically shut down all of Meletus in terms of worship.
Yeah, like every temple in Meletus is closed.
Except for Farika and Helioid, but I think the only reason why he didn't
close Farika's is because Farika's is also the hospital.
Maybe not just that. Well, in my head, it's more on the lines of, it's Farika. She is a scary bugger, and you don't know what she can do.
Right.
Best keep her thing open. You see, Thassa is interesting because she is always what I would consider the woman scorned, and I think she's the only other god that we've really come across that has come against the party.
Right.
Besides now,
NX is
technically.
messing with almost all of us. Wait, did you say almost? I don't know. She's not supposed to look into this. She's supposed to look very just like, oh god, I can do this. Steady on. As evidenced by the fact that the hand holding the knife is going.
The tongue. Yeah, she's doing a lunar landing on her thumb this first time.
Yeah, it's just, oh my word.
And her hand is shaking and it's shaking the blade, so, you know.
Yeah, that's. I'm so sorry that that's how the expression panned out.
I love it though. I do. Just the easy.
Somebody else, get on with it.
It's like the reversing of a delivery in the depot. Beep.
Yeah. One thing I do like. Oh.
I don't know if I like how into it this girl looks.
She's not supposed to look into it. She's supposed to look just.
She's like, oh yeah, baby, here we go. No.
Yeah, she's supposed to look just like, oh god, I can do this. I can definitely do this. Everyone else, just get on with it, woman.
I will say, once you put in a few little sweat marks and a few little shivers here and there, I think great.
Yeah, it'll convey a lot better.
Oh, yay!
Oh, look at that! Volunteer. I got it. Yeet! Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely add some stuff to her expressions so this actually looks like it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That she's.
You see, now I looking at her, I can see Orochimaru just a little bit. I'm like, oh no, damn it, Felix. She's just this close to licking the blade.
That's just the perspective. It's actually out in front of her by a good bit.
Yeah.
Now, what colors to dress her in? Because we have options.
What color would go with red but doesn't predominantly is not predominantly seen with red? That's where my brain went.
No, she's not. She's terrible. She's just like, I can do this.
In anticipation.
No, that's not supposed to be how this is going. That's not at all what's supposed to be going on here. You know, since blood is very often tied to life, why not give her sort of like a greenish outfit?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is a nature-based thing.
Do a cheerful color. That'll do. Yeah, she's not supposed to look excited about this.
She isn't darkness, okay? We're just putting it out there. She is not darkness.
The fact that needed to be clarified. And some brown for the wrappings on the hilt. Red and green.
Blood remain Christmas. Lol.
Well, red and green are kind of contrasts on the color wheel, but green also goes really well with her blonde hair.
That is true. That is true. She has walked out the door accessorizing everything.
Aztec design. Um,
Ooh,
that's actually a really good idea.
Simon, by Jove, I think that you have got it.
Let's just take the colors out of the dress real quick.
That is good.
Put colors on the knife.
I think you missed a little bit by one of the fingers. I think it was the middle finger.
I know. I'm getting back to it.
I know where it is. That old ceremonial dagger. How long's it been in here? Centuries. How many people have used it?
We don't know.
We don't keep records.
Oh, that's concerning.
The amount of things this thing has penetrated is alarmingly high. Blonde hair, cheek, into pain, cheek, congratulations, situation. Sure, this isn't darkness. Long blonde hair. She doesn't have long blonde hair.
And if I recall correctly, Darkness's blonde hair is very, very light.
Yes.
In contrast to this girl's, who is very, very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And her bust size is not worse.
I know exactly how to convey that she's not as into this as she could be.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a bluish gray overlay over the top part of her face.
Yes! Yes!
So you sterilize the dagger. The what?
Has it been cleaned recently? I don't know.
I don't like that your answer is I don't know.
How long have you been using this thing? 20 years? How many people do you know have used it? I don't know.
Lot. I don't
Breaking news.
I don't like where this is going. That's fine.
Breaking news. Blood diseases. Why is it an issue with our clerics?
What? Ah, there we go.
Okay, now
I'm
she
trying.
looks very sinister. She looks very sinister, and I love it. Just
I'll find some way to ruin this. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, she looks white as a ghost. Yeah, this is perfect. Sorry. I just happened to write something and it just randomly came up with darkness and I can't help myself. Sorry, Susan.
Why does she I don't know.
Her getting attacked by cabbages was hilarious. Who's Rune, by the way?
I think it's a character from a thing.
Ah.
Let's put it right about there. Right there. Into what she's about to do to herself, but she's about to do the poor schmuck before her. Well, blood domain clerics are very much damage cannons, so I guess.
Do you think it would also be a good idea to maybe have her eyes watering as well?
How are you? Aren't you going to make this? Cabbages don't have blood.
Yes, exactly. Blood domain. There's cabbages! My only weakness. Things without blood.
I had to look up how to spell schmuck.
Aww. If it makes it any better, I tried to. Right, this is a really old story. When I was at college, I was trying to. We were writing about egg cozies. It's a weird subject, but we were making these little egg cozies, and we were all like, trying to explain what we were doing. My job was to stick the eggs up these cozies. Okay, that was my job. So I tried to say, so I stuck the eggs up their jackses, but I spout it wrong, and it autocorrected to Jackie.
No.
Autocorrected to Jackie.
Oh,
Now,
no.
the thing you may need to know: the head of the course that I was doing, her name was Jackie.
Oh no!
So my lecturer looked at it, burst out laughing. Jackie ended up seeing and went, "I don't know them."
And you're probably
like,
looking at the world like God. Can you just put me in the ground now and get it over with?
That was basically my reaction. Yeah, just a little bit. Think of a mixture of Doomslayer and Unusa. Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
I'm sorry with joy. No, she. Oh,
She hasn't blinked in a while.
Comedy idea incoming. Blood domain cleric with no tolerance for pain.
I'm just a sucker for pain.
No, she's not really. She's kind of a wimp about it. Shush!
I had a feeling that Felix was going to sing it, so do it first.
Eraser. Crank the size down a lot.
I will say the only person I've ever met that has the worst. The only person I've met with a really bad pain tolerance is my wife. Oh boy.
Blood domain cleric. That's That's red green colorblind. That would actually be hilarious.
That sounds like a really good character. Oh boy. A blood hunter that's blood. I almost said blood blind.
I started playing it. You know, let's do. You know what? Let's go yellowy orange.
Ooh, interesting. Her nickname is Sunny D.
God damn it.
It's a drink that we drink here in the UK.
Good for you.
It was so sugary they ended up banning it in England. When I was like 8 or 9.
Let me guess, you had a dose of it and just started vibrating one morning.
Oh, I was 3. My mother refused to give it to me after an incident where I ran into traffic.
Ah! So when you're sugared up, you turn into an utter little gremlin.
I did, yeah.
Blood Domain Cleric isn't good at medicine at all. Just, I don't know, blood just goes back in. Taurus slowly dies inside.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, my mum was just like, yeah, they've stopped doing it, and I never questioned it. And I think I was like 9 or 10, and I happened to see on the news, Sunny D has finally been continued. I just did a really fan of my
So is this? So this is Mrs. Mumsy as a blood cleric.
Mrs. Mumsy is a blood cleric. Yes, it is. It is. Weirdly enough, she does have that color hair. So.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine. Trying to get her to do a blood test is an absolute chore. Let's just say that much.
Just say, dear.
You know how couples only ever get like the hand crushing sort of when someone's giving birth. Imagine
I
that
didn't
for
do that
any.
to my husband.
Well, my dad got suffocated into unconsciousness, but yeah.
The fact that your mum choked out your dad is besides the point.
Yeah. Yeah, any medical procedure with my wife, if it has anything to do with, she has got a vice grip on my hand and I'm in as much pain as she have. How's your hand? I can barely feel it. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I will get the feeling back in about half an hour.
I love you, darling.
Yeah. I really need to make a blood cleric after my wife now. I will say she does look a little bit more scared now. And the fact that she hasn't blinked in a while is the reason why her eyes are... I can't blink. If I blink, I fail.
Everyone else, is she okay? Is Sunny D still banned in the UK?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, yeah, it is. Jamie Oliver did a petition against it, and it was one of the few sugary drinks that he was ever able to get off the shelves.
Because it was pretty much just straight sugar.
I worry about it if and when she gives birth now. Thanks, Mumsy. That's fair. Yeah, well, technically my dad getting choked out was his fault. She asked for a hug and he gave it willingly.
So that's just he brought this on himself.
And then the words that followed was, "Why did you do this to me? Why aren't you talking?" Slips out of arm.
Blech. Oh.
And then moans and groans that he isn't there to help her.
You choked him out! So, my mum actually, I think, deeply confused one of the nurses when I was being born. So I was actually a month early.
Same.
And because I was a month early, the hospital staff was very worried about me. As a as a unfortunate side effect of their concern, my mum was told, we're very sorry, we're only letting the the father into the room.
Mhm.
My mum, who really wanted... So, there were two people my mom really wanted present.
Mhm.
Her brother, my uncle, and my dad.
Mhm.
My uncle is what could comfortably be described as a massive gremlin.
So basically, I almost said basically Felix, and I didn't mean for that. That was where my brain went, and I'm really ashamed of myself for thinking that now.
Yeah, my uncle is and was at the time a massive gremlin.
Mm-hmm.
So upon being told this, he looks the nurse dead in the eye and goes, "Well, that would be me then." The nurse going, okay, in you go.
Oh no, I can see where this is going.
Enough time passes that the nurses change shifts. It's like 15, 20 minutes, not an obscene amount of time.
Mm.
And my actual dad shows up,
Mm-hmm.
gets told the exact same thing, and goes, "Well, that would be me then." Doctor looks up, looks at my mom, looks at my uncle, looks at my dad, then just decides, you know what? Nope.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just not today. Now we come to the fun bit.
Mm.
Putting the shading on.
Oh yes.
First up,
Sunny D isn't that sweet. Chuck's chocolate.
what's the name of Cleo and... That's actually a fantastic question. What is the name of the little bugger?
Lycus. It isn't quite the same spelling as
Takis's one
Takis's
ends in
new girlfriend.
one ends in AS, the other ends in OS.
No, one of them ends in OS, the other one ends in yes.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the name of their little bundle of joy.
Lycus is also the name of his brother that passed away, and it was his wife Cleo that suggested, as a tribute to his little brother, that they named him after him.
Aww.
And Spyro was so moved by that gesture.
I was going to say he was so moved that he cried, but it's Spyro. He cries about everything.
He cried for 2 days straight. We'll say that much.
Oh, good lord.
Of joy, mind you, of joy. Not his usual.
If Ava witnessed this, she'd eventually look at him and go, "Good God, man, pull yourself together."
He's just like, this is just what a happy dad looks like.
Oh. My dad doesn't do that.
He probably has his own way of portraying his affection.
Yes, by yelling at people who try to get me in, who try to help me continue my career in the military.
Spyro says nothing because he understands his reasoning. not allowed to die today.
What?
Never. My laptop has decided I die. Can I die, please? I'm like, oh, this isn't the time to die.
Fair enough.
Good boy.
I mean, we joke with Mumsy when he's squeeing over something adorable to just have a kid already, but but the last we've heard of anything on that front, weren't you in discussions with your landlord about getting a cat?
Yeah.
But you're nervous about doing it because your wife wants to name it Toast and the neighbors already think you're not too well wrapped?
Yeah. How are they going to respond to a man shouting
shouting about toast at 2 a.m? Honestly, Mums, if your neighbors know you at all, they'd just go, "Oh, he's at it again."
Yeah. But then again, I don't really want to know that my landlord can screaming toast.
Well, why not just do that? Here's what I'm going to propose. Your wife can call it whatever she wants, and you can call it whatever you want, and the cat will figure out how it wants to be addressed.
You see, knowing my luck, it'll want to be called Toast, and it won't come to anyone unless it's Toast.
Yeah, in my family, we always let the cat pick its own name.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like when we brought, unless the animal already has a suitable name.
Yeah, my two were given their names by their original. Wow, they're the owners of their mother.
Yeah, my family, we've always adopted ours from the pound. And my grandparents' current cat, Princess, why she was given that name, I'll never know. My grandmother must have thought it endearing. Apparently, my grandmother has strong opinions about the shelter regarding this cat. The card said she was orange when she is decidedly not.
I have seen Princess, I think. Yeah, she's
the really fluffy one.
Yeah, the Maine Coon looking
thing.
Yeah.
Furball. Yeah, orange is not that cat. Another thing, they named the poor dear Pickle. My gran took one look at that name and went, "No. No, that is not what you name a perfectly lovely cat."
Looks like someone's got themselves into a pickle. Oh.
Bad Mumsy. Go sit in the naughty corner.
Oh.
Don't really. I love talking to you.
I can't sit in the corner. There is a bunch of Disney traditions just sitting there, and if I touch them, my wife will kill me.
Because given your habit of everything I touch breaks.
Yeah. No, it's funny because one of the very first things I ever bought Maria for a gift, it was this beautiful necklace. And
it has not survived, has it?
Kind of like her wedding ring. I'm going to explain that one. I put it around her neck. The chain broke and the jewel fell split in two immediately.
Sir.
Yeah. It costed me a bomb as well.
You are slightly cursed.
And now we come to Maria's wedding ring. So Maria's wedding ring had this beautiful little diamond in it. She wore it for a day and a half. We were on the train to Disneyland Paris for our honeymoon, and the diamond fell off and we never found it.
Oh no! Sounds like somebody at the jewelist shop didn't double check the setting, honestly.
Maybe. But, yeah, Maria has never worn her wedding because the diamond fell off. And I feel so bad because I was picked up ring.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody at the jewelist shop didn't check that the setting was all right.
Don't get me started on the taxi ride there because that window broke.
Oh god.
I actually have the smashed window that I might put in the stream chat feed because it was just, oh boy. Yeah. This was us on the way to London to train station. Give me a minute. I gotta find it. And it was the tiniest rock going. I mean, it was no bigger than it was the smallest bloody thing, but the entire thing just smashed and went all over me.
You're not touching the cat.
I am not gonna touch the cat, never.
Of course, there's always the chance that the cat will sense your anxieties about touching it and absolutely love you.
That is true. That is true. Where is it? I have a lot of photos. Oh, there's me as an old man.
Playing around with photo retouch.
Yeah, my wife also turned me exactly like my sister.
Concerning.
Come on, where are you? There it is. Here you go, guys. This is the image of us on our way up to the thing. That is a car window.
Well, yes, that is what a cat would do. Yep.
My wife took the photo. Cats are demons. I can attest to that. My two are in Tabitha. She kind of follows her dad. So I know this for a fact that my two cats are part them that they are half tabby, quarter Bengal, and quarter Persian.
That's just odd. Cat stole an entire chicken. They got my mom's dinner. Naughty kitty!
Well, my cat stole an entire pizza after, so
After KOing the delivery boy.
Dragged it through our back door. We had to pay the neighbors for a new pizza. I felt so bad for them. And had to then call an ambulance for the poor boy.
Yeah, the most gremlin thing our cats, my family's cats have done is I think it would have to be the
Oh my word. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's been Tabitha all along. Yeah, it was Tabitha actually that jumped on his head. Luckily it wasn't Lola because that one weighs 2 stone. I think she'd have killed him.
What does 2 stone mean in America?
Let me have a little look. I will have a little look. £28.
Good God!
Yep.
What does 2 stone mean in American? It means heavy.
You chonk. She's a chonk, and she likes to do a quick diving board off of my testicles every single time she sits on my lap, and it hurts so much.
I'd start wearing a cup if I were you around that cat.
I might need to. She didn't want to sit on my lap yesterday, which was quite sweet. She was just too happy, just sort of snoozing. She did give me this little look and a quick sort of, hello, I love you, and then just sort of went on about her business.
Yeah, just, hi, good to see you, human. I like sleep. Bye.
She is 10 years old now, so she is starting to sort of slow down, which is quite sweet.
Yeah.
But when she is sitting on my lap, she does all, which, she doesn't get down nicely.
She needs... If Kai's cat Blake... Blake is not in heat every time we record. It just feels like it sometimes. It just feels like it.
She hasn't really been that vocal over the last couple of sessions.
Yeah,
we have heard little glimpses of her
going just like burp.
Yeah, I know.
We love Blake for all her gremlininess.
Especially whenever
she is a fur gremlin, but also fur baby.
I will say though, the cutest relationship I've ever seen when it comes to human and cat is Lava with Abby. Just the way she just sort of goes, oh yeah, just right there. Oh yes, this is nice.
Well, Abby is I'm hearing vermin. Abby is kind of my husband. So my husband's family adopted Abby and Gideon. Well, found them when they were very, very little. And Abby was always Lars's cat, and well, no, Abby was Martin's, and Gideon was Lars's, and you could tell who was the big. No, cat is not past tense. Both cats are current tense.
Yeah, Gideon is from what I've seen of Gideon, he's a special.
He's a very special boy.
Yeah, he's a very special boy, just a little bit skittish and a little.
Yeah, you can tell which of the boys was the biggest influence on each cat. Because while they're both very, very shy cats, Abby is more personable than Gideon. And my husband, Lars or Lava, as you guys know him, is the more introvert. His brother Martin, the one who was the biggest influence on Abby, is the more extroverted of the two of them.
Yeah.
He's also the one most prone to breaking his own bones.
Okay. Do you know what is really funny? I've never broken a single bone, but the amount of accidents and bumps and everything that I do to myself, I'm so surprised I haven't.
Yeah, Abby, yeah, and there have been other cats in the past, just like in my family, we don't usually go long without a cat in the house.
For those with large reptiles, please remember to de-knife your cats
before feeding the monitor lizard.
Oh, monitor lizard. Sorry. Why did I say mother lizard?
Are you feeling well?
I granted I was trying to read that quickly because I read things ridiculously slow, but
yeah, fair.
yeah, my brain kind of got that.
And in my family's household, we had, and in my grandparents' house, they had this one cat for the longest time. I swear that cat was older than I am. Wait, Mumsy. Mumsy, has your curse ever had you going, well, this is how I die?
I nearly drowned when I was, but that was when all of my bad luck started.
Wait, you were how old? Your mic cut.
4. I was 4 years old. I fell out of a rubber ring in a swimming pool and just accepted death. As I floated to the bottom.
Yeah, so this is how I go. Bloop.
Well, no, the funny thing is, I had a very... This is how I die. My life was dead boring. Closing eyes. I woke up about 5 minutes later, just sort of in an ambulance, and my mum was just there going, Jack, you could have just swam up. And I went, how do you swim up?
Was that when they discovered you couldn't swim?
That was how they discovered I couldn't swim, yeah.
Did they just figure that children came with how to swim downloaded into their brains?
Well, I'd never floated out that far before.
Now, like, how many times did you come close to death?
Oh, how many times have I come close to death? So there was the time that I nearly drowned. There was the time that I knocked out my wife in the playground.
By mistake.
By mistake and busted up my knees.
There was the time you fell down a volcano.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. That's probably the other closest time
I've been to death.
Fortunately,
been to death. You fell down the not hot side.
Yeah. Yeah, not hot side, but also turned into Swiss cheese with all the little indents in my body from the rocks that I hit. Since they were
roll. Then the teacher gets out the Costco size packet of Band-Aids.
Well, the funny thing is they were literally warning everyone, be careful on your way down. You could slip. And as they said they would slip, I went bombing. Because I hit a very loose, and then I couldn't stop myself from falling, and yeah.
Just whee!
Luckily, I have not been in any sort of near destination-esque sort of stuff yet. Final destination.
Near death. Oh, well then. I do distinctly recall, Mumsy, the time like you'd freshly cleaned the floor or something, and you were just zooming around the kitchen floor, making the panicked R2-D2 noise.
I did. Yeah. Actually, that was even better because I was actually coming back towards this room, but I had some very slick socks. Just
everyone else
I slammed into the wall by the front door.
Mums, are you okay? Because we could hear you.
Oh, my word.
Because we could hear you carrying on. And we're just like, you okay, buddy?
I slammed into the phone on my doorbell. So I have a phone for my doorbell. I slammed into it so hard I nearly knocked it off the wall.
Just ding! Just sitting there going, ugh.
I sat there, and then the receiver hit me on the head. And I was like, ow. I'm always on the receiving end. And yeah, I know, it was a bad joke.
Whatever helps you cope with the fact that you're cursed.
Yeah. How many near-death experiences have you had in... Just one.
Yeah, I am just imagining the teacher finishing what she's saying, hearing like this clattering noise, looking and seeing you just roll down the hill.
Well, according to my friends, all they saw was the huge dust cloud and my bag. And
then just, oh dear.
And then about 30 seconds down the road, down the hill, you saw my shoe that fell off. And then you just saw a pile of man at the bottom going,
well, more like a pile of little boy.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't little, I was 16.
Oh, so a pile of teenage boy just at the bottom of the hill going, ow.
And the funny thing is, I think I went with someone who knew Maria as well.
So it was just your boyfriend's a dork.
I wasn't even her then. I barely knew her. But it was one of those moments. I got a text message from someone, and I didn't know who the number was, and it was, "Are
you okay?"
Okay, no. I was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Who is this?" And I never got a response. And I was like, I don't know who they were. They seem nice. 2 years later, my wife's just standing there going, he finally noticed 7 years of this.
It's one of those, we love you, Mumsy, but sometimes you're not a very smart man.
Well, I thought falling down a volcano was pretty evident.
You didn't do it on purpose.
No, I didn't. I will admit I didn't. I was the last one to start coming down, so I was behind everyone. So I couldn't hear what the teacher was saying. I was like, oh, I better move a little bit quicker just to hear it. Licked on a bit of loose rock and just went tumble. To this day, there's only one part of that entire thing that annoys me. People parted out of the way to let me roll past them. I'm still bitter.
Like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Dust cloud, Jack's bag, Jack's shoe.
And then Jack just quivering at the bottom.
Ow! I think I rolled for at least a minute.
That's just I'll go get you a Band-Aid.
I got up, I was covered in grit from head to toe, and it hurt so much getting all that stuff out. That was a good 3 hours with the tweezers.
That's just
on the bus.
Tweeze. And Band-Aid, and tweeze.
They also turned around and they said, do you think we should tell his mother? And they went, and I think my geography teacher went, don't you worry. I think she knows how bad he is when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm just like, I'm right here.
It's just, I'm right here, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember when I got home, my mum looked at me and went, God, Jack, you look absolutely dreadful. Was it a good trip? I was like, is she making a joke about me falling down a volcano, or was she asking, was it a good time in Iceland? I wasn't sure.
I'd have just answered, like, most of it was great, aside from the whole, falling down a mountain part. But yeah,
she looks fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you all for stopping by today. I hope to see you all again sometime soon.
Yep.
Bye for now.
Bye. Pardon me.